Hello guys, it's Pat from Pat back at it again, and today we are here with actually a deck that I brought to the channel maybe a month ago, if I'm not wrong. So, as you may have seen from the thumbnail, I'm talking about Ancient Gears. So I'm here with Dr. Valiant Crawler, and as you can see in a moment, we'll have a spicy tech to add thanks to the new box that we got at the box with gimmick puppets. And before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So the skill that I'm using is the classic one, so Middle Ancient Gear, so Middle Age Max actually, sorry. So you basically begin the duel with the continuous spell card Ancient Gear Castle. So these ones that you have got 2 counters on it, and you gain each counter every time a monster is normal summon on the field, either by you or your opponent. When you have 2, you can normal summon the big boy without tripling by sending the card with the 2 counters at least to the grave. So this actually looks pretty similar to the deck that I brought a lot of time ago on the channel for Ancient Gears, and this is, as you can see, a version without any spell. So we're not focusing on bringing out Gear Town, popping that, and special summoning the reactive dragon from the deck, grave, or whatever, but we are focusing instead on counter traps on Ancient Gear Reborn. That's an insane card basically, and we've got this big shuttle right here, the Arcjet Lightcraft. What this thing does, this is the new card from the latest box, as you can see right here. It's just a rare card, so you do not need to spend tons of gems to get it. And if you control no monster, let's start from this. This is a 9-star monster, and if you control no monster, you can normal summon it without tributing. So it's, you know, kinda of an unbreak card. So if you got nothing to summon, if you got him, you actually do not have to worry about tributing anything. And when it's normal or special summoned, you can target one level 8 or lower machine type monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. And as you can see right here, all of these monsters except for the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon are machine type, and they are level 8 or lower. So the monster that you just special summon becomes level 9 and has the effect negated. But there are 2 things like right here. So first of all, this means that you can when you summon this guy, you can basically go into a DYSON Sphere, another card from the latest box. This unfortunately is an ultra rare actually, so you have to grind a little bit to get this. And so having a Lightcraft with a machine type monster in the grave means to have access instantly to a DYSON Sphere. And also another good thing is that if you summon the Machina Fortress, what you can do is that even if it's summoned and these effects are negated, if it gets this, if somehow you do not get to exceed summon, maybe because they just floodgate your Lightcraft or whatever, I don't know, they just pop it before you exceed summon. If you have this thing on the field face in defense position, even with negated effects, if your opponent destroys it by battle, you still get the effect of pop a card your opponent control. Keep in mind that. Then the deck is pretty simple. I mean, we've got triple Machina Gear Frame, or Magna, I don't know how to say it, how to pronounce it, and triple Ancient Gear Wyvern. So of course the gear frame is to look for your fortress, and fortress really combines well with the counter trap that needs you to discard a card. Of course I like to play the counter trap because just, you know, prevent your opponent from playing. They cannot be chainable, but you can play other cards. You can play Regagi Break, it's a still valuable thing, you know, as a more versatile, or you can play Kamakat as long as it requires to discard. Why do I say that? Because if you discard Fortress, of course, let's just not say China or else, or how do I have to say it? So whenever you discard the Fortress, you can special summon it just by discarding the Reactor Dragon or by discarding the Lightcraft. So you know, discarding the Fortress is not that much of a deal. It's not, just like you're not having a cast to activate the trap. So that's pretty cool. And what else, guys? Also, when you discard your Reactor Dragon as well, you're doing yourself a favor, because you're setting your play for Ancient Gear Reborn. And keep in mind that you cannot do Reborn with the effect of Wyvern. The only bad thing is that when you actually had the Reborn with the effect of Wyvern, because of the second effect of Wyvern, that you're not allowed to set any cards after this effect is activated, you have to wait a turn before actually set your Reborn. Keep in mind that that's a pretty important thing. And guys, this is just that. The other stuff is just generic. I mean, generic round 4, because we play 6 level 4 monster, and the Titanic Moth, just in case you have a couple of Fortress, and it can really happen a lot of times because you have basically 5 monsters that are level 9, so you can easily special summon the Fortress from the grave. And that's all, guys. You can see only the last thing. Why did I focus on DYSON Sphere? This guy is pretty cool. I mean, because he basically cannot be attacked. He cannot be attacked in any way, and you only need to protect him from the back rows. But for the back rows, let's say that you have your Reactor Dragon. While for the monsters effect, we've got the Divine Wrath and the Ultimate Providence as negation. Why do I say this? Because this thing, as you can see right here, once per battle step, if this card has material and is attacked, you can negate the attack. Once per battle step, not battle phase. So this means that every time your opponent attacks, as you will see in the replays, you can just negate the attack without actually detaching anything, without discarding anything. There's no cost at all. So you can just keep on negating attacks. That's all. And if it happens, and it can happen that you have no materials on the attack declaration, actually, sorry, you get to target 2 monsters in your graveyard and add to this as Xyz material. So it just refill up itself, and you actually had to do nothing. Why this card can actually lose its materials? Because of its first effect. Because if your opponent controls a monster with a higher attack than this card, you can detach a material, and this thing can attack directly, and it deals its whole attack. So it's not, you know, half the damage or whatever. You can just attack directly with 2800 damage. That's huge. And you will see a replay actually against Lunalight Prayer when he had the Saber Dancer on the field and he could not attack, and I won just by using DYSON Sphere. So don't miss that, because it's insane. So guys, that was all for the explanation. I hope you enjoyed that, and we can jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. First duel against Anudian. Let's see what we got. So it's me to begin. We've got in Divine Wrath. So keep in mind, guys, if you're planning to normal summon the Wyvern, make sure you always first set the trap card you already have in your hand. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it afterwards. So Divine Wrath set, Ancient Gear Wyvern, and you always, guys, wanna add your Reborn first, and then if you miss it, you can add your Reactor Dragon with in a second moment. Why? Because you wanna have your Reborn, because just in case your Wyvern is destroyed, you can use the Reborn you just had it to special summon the Wyvern again, gets the effect, and then add the Reactor Dragon, of course. So it turns out it is a Shiranui player, so Solitaire, negated by Divine Wrath, and actually keep an eye on this, because the counter trap in this case were the only good option to negate this. Otherwise, Fiendish Chain cannot be, you know, anything good. So because it can just tribute itself and the effect actually resolved in the grave. A couple set and he's done. Then Ancient Gear Castle, I got the Reactor Dragon so I can summon him, but he got a Floodgate, so I have to do a lot of traps. but we know it's a Shiranui player, so that's fine. First 1700 damage, then he has a Gazuki, sent the Spectre's Ward, but he cannot activate the effect yet because he just sent to the grave right now. Then he suicides with his Gazuki, it's fine. I drew the Fortress, and I could summon by discarding a Lightcraft, but he has another Floodgate. But at that point, I can just tribute those two monsters that are Floodgated to go for the Lightcraft that revives the Fortress, exceeds Shokan into Dyson Sphere, and it happens to have nothing else. That's how you do it with a quick Dyson Sphere Exceed summon. There you go. Second duel, my boy, against a Lunalite. So let's see what we got. So it's us to begin. Let's go with of course the gear frame, adding the Fortress. We've got a Providence as a negation, so we're chilling. Let's see what he's got. He's got this Yugi has the bird, so pretty cool hand to begin with, but my Providence has no thank you. I hope actually he had the Martin stuck in his hand, but it turns out he already has the fusion. So boom, sending the White Rabbit and the Martin to the grave to go into a Dancer. Then of course Martin activates its effect and does another Lunalite fusion, and he can just start attacking and dealing me some damage, getting rid of the gear frame. Now Ancient Gear Castle, because we've got all the all the counters we need, and boom, we've got the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, but we can only deal damage because this thing cannot be destroyed by battle. So he's got another Lunalite fusion, and this time he's gonna go with the good one. Actually no, still the Cat Dancer, so he's kicking in but he has no lethal because this thing cannot attack twice, so he has nothing to sacrifice to activate the effect of the Cat Dancer, and I'm saved just, for so little. And boom, I've got the aircraft to go directly into a Dyson Sphere. But still guys, I can't do anything. I was afraid of him having another way to go into another fox and make my attack go to 0, so that's why I'm making defense. But then I realized this was a misplay because I can just negate the effect. Keep in mind that Lunalite fusion once again, and this time he's gonna go for the Saber Dancer because now I have an Xyz monster on the field, so he can just send the monster from the extra deck or deck to the grave. So there you go, he's got the Saber Dancer, but he just started attacking and I can just negate, and now I won. Why? Because I can use the effect of Sphere, I can attack directly because he has a monster with higher attack than my monster, and even now if he has Destiny Draw, what could he do? Actually nothing. So again, I can go into my Dyson Sphere's effect, and boom. He waited for me, took the Kuribo because he wanted me to finish the materials actually, I guess. But it's not that easy because look at this. So he's got the Tanky with the White Rabbit. It's fine now, so he can summon the rabbit and go into the special summon of the Cat Dancer. Then he attacks with the Saber Dancer, and here comes the last effect. When he has no material, you can target 2 monsters in the graveyard and attach to them to it as Xyz material, and then in the battle step I can get the attack. So this effect does not target, so you cannot do anything, even if it's Saber Dancer cannot be targeted. That's how easy it is. There you go. Then detach Xyz material and attack directly for game. There you go. Another Yami Yugi on the line. We've got we still have to begin, so a couple of counter traps, so pretty good hand. We've got the gear frame adding the Fortress, and then we've got defense. He started with the Charge of Light Brigade, so we're talking about Light Sworn deck, of course. Now we have to see if this is just a Light Sworn or I don't know, Thunder Dragon maybe, or Spellcaster stuff, I don't know, let's see. So I decided to go all in with the gear frame, and it turns out he had a Veil. I negated with the Providence, and I thought I actually won. Instead he has a Sphere Kuribo, but at least I got him with some life points, and then he has no Destiny Draw to activate still, so we're fine. He's got the Raiden, use the effect to move some cards, and it turns out it is a Thunder Dragon deck. So with the Lightsworn engine, a classic one, you have to say. So he's gonna go all in, and my fortress just popped the Thunder Dragon Roar. I decided to do it because he already activated the effect of Dragon Roar, so he can only activate one effect per turn. So once that he activate the one to discard him, he's not allowed to activate the second one of special summoning a monster from the deck. That's why I did it. So then again, we've got the gear frame, adding another fortress again. Xyz Shogun into Malevolent Sin, just to end it. As you can see, Malevolent Sin for the game, but it turns out he has another Kuribo, and my ultimate Providence says no thank you to finish him off. So just to show you guys that this deck, of course, can win even without the Ancient Gear stuff, thanks to the counter trap and all the stuff alone. So last but not least, interrupting a 4-win streak from this Yugi, another Yugi on the line, so 3 in a row. It's a Fire King player actually, so let's see what we got. We've got the, I got to set the trap, then Wyvern, but I didn't activate the effect because I didn't want him to pop, you know, the Garnix just in case he already has in hand, so that's why I didn't activate the effect. And then when I attack, Wyvern negates anything that any monster's effect that can activate during the, you know, the battle step, so that's why he wasn't allowed to do anything. And he's got the Onslaught, unfortunately, so the Garnix is going to be destroyed anyway. Then he uses the Wolf Bark, Xyz Shogun into Malevolent Sin just to end me, but unfortunately we've got the Ultimate Providence to negate that. We're fine, so goodbye to Malevolent Sin, and then he just swing in, but we're chilling. Then the effect of Garnix comes in play, and he has to summon it back again, but we control no monsters, so there's nothing to pop. Ancient Gear Castle, there you go into an Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, and that's the perfect spot because now he cannot activate anything because the Reactor Dragon does not allow him to do it. So another Onslaught, and in the end phase, so he's got to special summon him again from the grave. Hole gets popped, and the only thing that I have to do is to use Wyvern to add the Reborn. So once that I got my Reborn on the field, I should be totally fine. So he's got the field spell to pop a monster in his hand. Let's see if he can actually go for a game. I do not think he has all he needs. So 1000 plus 1800, we're still in the game, and we've got the perfect set. So I just set a couple of cards right here because my Dyson Sphere in this case couldn't do a thing. He actually has more attack than his monster, so I cannot attack directly. There was no point. He uses that's why I just set a couple of Reborn just in case he pops one. I have the other one ready, and so it goes on with the stuff, but my Ancient Gear Reborn says no thank you, no thank you. We've got Reactor Dragon in defense just in case he has enemy controller, but I don't think he plays it, but who knows. And now we're chilling because standby phase, he pops it, he pops everything actually, but we can still activate Reborn once per turn. So Reactor Dragon is coming back, popping that, using the effect to pop the card set that is actually a Circle of Fire King, but we're chilling. So Barong's effect to add another Garnix, and then Island once again to to destroy the Garnix, so you can use the effect once again. He also has 10 key, but no more Harvarat's hat. And then of course in the standby phase, the Garnix comes again, but my Providence says no thank you, you're not allowed to do it. So in the battle phase, I can just swing in because of course no hand trap are allowed with the Ancient Gears. Boom, that's how you do it, my boy. So that was all. I hope you enjoyed the spicy version of the Ancient Gears, featuring the Lightcraft with the Dyson Sphere, these new cards, guys. I hope you like it. I personally like to play a lot of stuff with Ancient Gears, so that's why I actually try to bring on a channel as more version of this deck, the most amount of version that I can. So guys, that was all. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.